Hey everyone, Rex here in the Owl's Den. I wanted to do a little intro video to explain some of the videos that are going to be coming up on the channel. I'm going to be talking about the holy grail of my Led Zeppelin collection. It's called The Final Option, right here. Um, it's a very interesting, oddball kind of thing. There's not a lot of information on the internet. Uh, Dylan over at Noble Records near Charlotte, North Carolina, did a video recently. Did a full deep dive into every single record that's in the set. Highly recommend you check out his video. I'll put a link in the comments. So, what is this thing? This is a 70 record set put out by these bootleg companies. Back in the mid 80s, the recording industry of America was cracking down, and they decided they wanted to put out one more last hurrah. So they took all of their original plates and pressed 70 records to put into this set, and 150 copies were made. Now, allegedly, a lot of the copies were destroyed. Um, so I'm really curious to know how many copies are out there. But inside, now, obviously, putting 70 records in this old acrylic box is, you know, rather dangerous. So I've got mine in sort of separate sleeves. And as an example, so this one we've got, of course, I don't have proper labeling on this, but so this one you can see each paper sleeve is sort of hand stamped. This is the Central Park 1969 show. And all the vinyl is black and white swirl. And, they all sort of vary on the different kind of swirls, but it's a great, great set of bootlegs put out by these companies. 1986, I believe, was the original release date. So I recommend going over to Dylan's page to check out copies of each individual one. But what I'm going to be doing on this page is giving you a full video of every set. And I'm going to be releasing those as the weeks go by. So stay tuned on the Owl's Den channel. So, how did I obtain a copy of The Final Option? Well, going back to high school, I started, collecting, started getting into the vinyl outside of the CDs. A friend of mine obtained a Live in Baton Rouge album, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" The live experience and the live bootlegs really, piqued my interest. And when I spent a summer in Eugene while I was in college, I was getting Goldmine magazine every month, front to cover, whatever I could find, whatever I could glean from that magazine. I was just absorbing. And I was just absolutely on cloud nine. On the back page one day, there was just a little tiny ad, said Led Zeppelin, The Final Option, silent auction, send in your bid. Now, these are the old days where you had to write a letter. So I wrote a letter to this guy in Youngstown, Ohio, and I bid $700, which was pretty much all the money I had at that time. But anyway, a couple of weeks went by. I had to get a phone call late at night, which in Youngstown, Ohio, must have been like 2 a.m. But anyway, he said three people had bid the same amount. And come to find out, his dad was a record store owner. And back in the 80s, he had obtained two copies and he was putting these up for sale. So everyone got to do a second bid. I did a second bid and I was the highest. And I will say he called me, and because I was the highest, I was able to get the lowest numbered copy. Now, the great thing that I love about this copy, number one, it's in pretty good shape. But as you can see on the back, you've got your list of songs that are on the entire set. You've got the list of each of the bootleg titles. Um, you've got the mentioned 150 copies, and I've got number four, which is a pretty good low number. So I'm pretty happy about that. Um, One of the things that I've always been interested in since I got this is how many people out there actually have one. Now, if you go to Discogs, I think there are, as of currently, there's about 16 people that claim that they have a copy. So I've always wondered how many copies are really out there. You never see them come up for sale. There's very little information online about it. But I will say that I know at least one other person who does have a copy, and that person's name is Jimmy Page. Now, how do I know that? Well, if you've seen the documentary, It Might Get Loud, you'll see him when he's in his den, his record room. He's in his owl's den, if you will, and he's talking about the song Rumble. And if you look down in the corner, you'll see he's got a copy. And if you look at the spine of the box set, you see the various different bootleg companies that were putting these out. You got Trademark Equality, Toasted, Rock Solid. Um, anyway, if you look at that documentary, you'll see that spine down in the corner of his records. So I got something in common with Jimmy Page. So why am I doing this? Well, number one, these records have been played maybe once. Um, Caveat, I will say the Osaka 929. I probably played that a few more times. I just can't help but play that. But I wanted to sort of create an archive um, of this set. So after I get these cleaned, played, they're going to be put away. Um, I'm sure I'll have this on display in perpetuity. However, I wanted to get them all on video and share them with everybody. Now, of course, we're going to get a lot of people saying, "Oh, the sound is crappy. Why are you doing this?" Well, number one, they're meant to be heard. Number two, yes, you can find a lot of these shows better quality. More people have, soundboards are out there. Um, people are looking for better quality bootlegs. However, I will say, listening to these has been very nostalgic. It's really taken me back to, my teenage years, collecting Led Zeppelin. I bought my first Zeppelin bootleg in, let's see, 1991 at a record shop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I still have that one. That was the Seattle 1975 title, the 214, uh, which is the atomic weight of lead. But anyway, listening to these old bootlegs really kind of takes you back to, the feel of the people in the stands actually recording the music and getting them pressed on vinyl. And, a lot of times the sound is terrible. Might be out of sequence of the actual show. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there if you want to hear proper, better sounding, uh, you know, chronology of the music. But for this archival film, we're just going to put them on video so people can enjoy them as much as they want. So that's it. These are going to be coming out in random order. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put out first. I'll probably put out maybe Listen to This Eddie, just because it's such a popular one. Um, but anyway, put out a comment if you want to see something sooner than later. Go through the list of the titles and put on your bootleg ears and enjoy.